It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 328. Tom Crawford, Blue Belly Tom, my broadcast partner for more than 18 years. He's a regular contributor to thewolverine.com and creator of the Crawford Podcasting Network. How was your week, Tom?
I got a brainstorm. I think we should just talk about the women's game, Michigan over Michigan State, for the next hour, and let's just cover that as a topic. We all in for that?
You brought that up earlier. We could have done it, but we're not prepared to do that. Yeah, you didn't prepare us for that.
It's been a rough week for the maize and blue. When do you think about it?
Well, all that went wrong was the Citrus Bowl, and today's game, and Tom Brady.
But Nico Collins is coming back.
There you go.
I mean,
that
DPJ
cancels out Donovan Peoples-Jones, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not totally bad.
Also want to welcome Larry Leach, Michigan Associated Press sports editor, and he is the only member of the media who covers Michigan football and Michigan State basketball on a daily basis, and also really good at predicting and prognosticating. If you ever go to Vegas, give Larry a call.
I'm Italian.
Should have been there today. He would have made a lot more money than he is doing this show. I can tell you that.
My ethics cost me today.
Yeah. Also, Brendan Quinn from The Athletic Detroit, and he is the best college basketball writer in the state. Larry and I took a vote, 2-0, and the state record holder for the most Michigan State and Michigan games covered in one season.
I would have to think so.
Yeah.
I think last year was like 54, 53, something.
You've pulled some double headers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this guy knows what it's like to have a team that wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But not a wild card game.
Not a wild card game, but that's something else. How would you describe the atmosphere today at Breslin Center?
It was pretty electric. The first half seemed like a big game atmosphere. The second half, it went to that next level, kind of building off the moorings type scene. When Juwan Howard got that technical, that was the this kind of hurts a little bit in here. So big time stuff though.
I was going to say, if Juwan is going to come that far out on the court and get into play, at least he could put a uniform on.
They could have used him.
He joked about that, actually.
He did.
You know, that's funny. In the press conference leading up to the game, he said he was 25, was coming out of retirement. He had another year of eligibility. Maybe that's what he was thinking out on the elbow.
I think the NCAA could turn a blind eye to the $120 million he made in his career and just
19
give him another year of amateur status.
Name, image, and likeness for Juwan Howard. That's the first time he's lost a game in Breslin Center.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was 3-0 as a player.
5-1 overall as a player.
Absolutely. We'll be back. We're going to talk a lot about that game this afternoon. We're also going to talk about the bowls and the NFL playoff picture. We're going to start with Michigan State and our Going Green segment up next.
It's the end of the year and the Graf dealerships have too many vehicles. That's bad news for us, but good news for you. It's the Graf year-end blowout. It's your last chance to get the car, truck, or SUV you want at the best prices of the year.
During the Graf year-end blowout, get $3,000 minimum for your trade and drive off in a new Chevy Equinox for just $141 per month or a new Chevy Trax for just $104 per month.
Save a lot of money and start the new year off the right way in a Graf Chevrolet. During Graf's year-end blowout going on now.
Boy, it's just what I thought. It's all going to have to come out.
If you don't have dental insurance, paying the bill can be really expensive. After all, just a simple cleaning can cost $150. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But now you can get dental insurance for about $1 a day from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. Call us for a free information kit. Our dental insurance helps cover over 350 procedures, everything from cleanings and fillings to crowns and dentures. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no deductibles and there's no annual maximum. Plus, you can see any dentist you choose. Take the pain out of big dental bills with Physicians Mutual. Call us now for your free information kit with all the details.
Profit over patience is a different kind of battlefield.
The Resident, all new Tuesday on Fox.
Team spirit. Face paint. more cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan on West Grand River at Okemos. With 105 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you, as they have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
Well, I guess it was a big win for us because the final score was not indicative of the game, as we all know. We got that 11, 12-point lead, and we just couldn't build on it, and that's a credit to them. Disappointing things the first half when I thought we shot the ball well, thought we defended pretty well, and every time we got a rebound, Simpson, who is phenomenal at it, knocked balls loose, and I think they got 8 points or something off of our rebound, a 3-point shot, a 3-point play, and a 2. And that was frustrating. Disappointed with a couple of my guys on that. But second half, we had that lead, 67-51, and I think Juwan and I, neither one were happy with some things, and I probably semi-deserved it. I don't think I totally did, but it wasn't for going out of the box. It was for just explaining that I didn't like the call, didn't like the way I explained it.
Michigan State coach Tom Izzo, after his 30th win over the University of Michigan, and as he will tell you, he thinks there should have been a few more. He messed up somewhere along the line there. Larry Leach, we saw Michigan State play near perfect defense Thursday night against Illinois in a 20-point win. How would you describe their play today against the Wolverines?
I thought it was dominant by its top duo. Winston. Winston outplayed Simpson, but Winston and Tillman were about as good as they can get. Career high for Winston, 32 points, also has 9 assists. Only 2 turnovers despite having the ball in his hands most of the game. Tillman with 20, could have had a career high 22 if he hits his free throws at the end. Career high 6 blocks, 11 rebounds. Those 2 controlled the game, and Michigan didn't have an answer for either one.
Somehow, Xavier Tillman blocked 10 shots in these 2 games, and he's not known for that. 6'8.5", but he was timing it just about perfectly. Brendan, Marcus Bingham might have had the best game I've ever seen for a player who didn't score a point Thursday night. 12 rebounds, 5 block shots, but it takes more than Cassius Winston and Xavier Tillman to win a rivalry game. Who didn't perform that job for Izzo's 2015 this afternoon?
Who didn't step up today?
Who did and who didn't?
Well, I mean, obviously the conversation starts with Winston and Tillman, right. Just being brilliant all the way around. But I thought Aaron Henry quietly had a really nice game. He picked up some early foul trouble,
but stop fouling people?
It was very clear the assignment for Xavier Simpson was Aaron Henry, and Aaron Henry could, because Winston and Tillman were doing what they were doing. Aaron Henry just needed to play defense and rebound, and he did a really nice job, because if you can stop Xavier Simpson, Michigan comes undone, especially without Isaiah Livers. So I thought it was a really nice showing from Henry. Bingham was quiet. Kithier was pretty quiet, but
your man Gabe Brown had a near basket-shattering dunk that
he did.
Xavier Tillman said afterward, didn't count for anything, 0 points.
Gabe's coming around, man. The dynamics that he brings in rebounding, in going up above the rim, he starts to seeming like a guy who has that big shot, If it's a 7-0 run, find him in the corner and he'll make it a 10-0 run and take the lid off the building. He's kind of one of those guys. But, he made those shots, Rocket Watts, those 3-pointers in the second half when it came time to kind of, put a bow on that thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of positive momentum for him comes out of this game.
Larry, how would you describe that dunk in relation to others you have seen at Breslin Center?
Well, unfortunately, this is going to take away my play of the week because I'm going to talk about it right now. I did a little math on this. Gabe tried to dunk on 14 feet of Wolverines and 515 pounds. His head was above the rim, and I would say at the Breslin Center, if he makes that, that's the best dunk I've seen. And I've been watching dunks there since '91. It cannot top and will not top Jason Richardson's acrobatic twisting tip dunk at Arizona, where we were both there in Tucson. And I think my jaw might still be on the table.
Tom Crawford, what's your take on a team that began the season as #1, suffered 3 losses in the first 8 games, fell to the mid-teens or later in the polls, and now one that's trying to hold serve with 4 of the first 5 conference games at home, and they've got another one coming up with Minnesota.
Yeah, and you got to protect home court, but I'm telling you what, this team would be winning if they're on the road. You know, I knew Michigan was in trouble when I watched the Illinois game, and it's how Michigan State defended Illinois, because that was a bad matchup for Michigan. But I tell you what, if I'm a high school basketball player, a point guard, I just watch film of Cassius Winston. I just devour it. That's all you'd have to do, because he's not the most athletic, you know, by that level standard, but he just amazed me today. His court presence and his angles and just knowing where everything is. He's an amazing player. I go back to Mike Robinson's performance against Michigan, Scott Skiles against Michigan. This is right in that category.
I'm going to also interject with Sean Respert's second half, 95 at Chrysler.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That was up there. Yeah. And Cassius broke Thomas Kelly's Big Ten record for most dribbles in a game. We'll be right back looking at Michigan out of the blue up next.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Download the Fox 47 News app, available for iOS and Android.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-905-0468. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-905-0468.
About my team, it's no surprise to me. I've been built a relationship with the team. Back when I first got hired, we started little player development in June, and then we've been at it since. So as far as on the road, playing at home, our team is solid. Yes, the game of basketball, just unfortunately, sometimes the basketball gods, the ball doesn't bounce for you. At times you're going to have those stretches where you make mistakes on the floor, which everyone's human. I make mistakes as a coach. They make mistakes as a player. I know we are all in. We're a family. We're a close-knit group. We're not a finger-pointing group. It's his fault, that guy's fault, coach fault. No, we don't do that here. We make no excuses.
Michigan first-year coach Juwan Howard and his team started the season 7-0 and now has dropped 4 of the last 7. Brendan, who got it done today for the Wolverines? Who played well and who did not?
You know, I think for watching it live, people probably say, man, you know, Xavier Simpson is struggling or whatever word you want to use. I thought he did everything that he could have done in that game. For them to not have Isaiah Livers, to actually pull off a win today, it would have needed to be like a legendary performance from Xavier. He'd have to make every hook, every scoop, every shot that you can. But with them going 5 for 23 on threes, the spacing was off all day. But you know who showed up? Austin Davis showed up. They would have gotten run out of the gym if not for his second chance points. Who knows? Onstead was rocking out today.
It's been there when he's been in it.
Yeah, he can convert when he's there. The problem is endurance and other things. I thought John Teskey played a nice game. You know, foul trouble wasn't ideal, but needed more out of Eli Brooks. Just an empty 36 minutes. Needed more out of Franz Wagner. You know, I was thinking maybe there's a chance that this is the game where kind of the Wagner genes come out a little bit, but you know, he just couldn't get the looks. And Michigan State's defense was just terrific, wall to wall.
Michigan State's players in the locker room were talking about how improved John Teskey is as a post player. They said that it's more than they want to try to deal with. And they did a much better job on Kofi Coburn in the post than they did on Teskey.
But really what didn't show up today for Michigan was its defense. The transition defense was struggling for a lot of the day.
Sometimes after Michigan made baskets, Michigan State made baskets.
That's when they're very effective.
Cassius Winston was looking at backs, going down court. And when that's the case, it's a recipe for
87
disaster.
points doesn't work.
Tom, how would you grade the Wolverines' performance from the cozy confines of Crawford Indoor Stadium?
I'm not a great guy, but I tell you what, whenever Michigan's on the road, they go to Louisville, they go to Illinois, they go to Michigan State. When they're on the road, they can't shoot from the perimeter beyond the arc. And they got to figure that out. And this is a little hangover from last year. And they don't have a real perimeter shooter. I mean, Franz was supposed to be that guy. He hasn't been that guy. And until Livers gets back, I don't know what the answer is going to be.
What about the play of East Lansing product Brandon Johnson?
I thought Brandon started really strong. He looked comfortable. He was aggressive. But, boy, he gave up some threes that he will not give up next time because Xavier Simpson will make sure of that in practice, trust me.
Larry, what does today's game mean for the Wolverines? They are the second highest ranked team in the league. Can they become conference contenders, or are they Jawannabes?
Well, I think the biggest key is going to be Livers' health. I talked to somebody after the game who hears that this might be a lingering issue. And I think when you're dealing with groins and hamstrings, not that I'm a doctor or trainer, but those are injuries that you really want to be careful with, because if you don't get them right, you know, there's still 2 months left in the season. And they're not very good without Livers unless everybody else is playing well. So, you know, they've got some tough games coming up. And, you know, you look at the Big Ten schedule, like, you know, I don't want to be a Big Ten homer, but there's not a lot of gimmies on the schedule anywhere, home or away.
I saw Livers grimace as he was walking last weekend out of the tunnel, so that's not a good sign.
Got to shoot on the road. 11 for 60 on threes in their 3 road games.
Purdue coming to Chrysler Center, and then they're at Minnesota. When do you think they might get Livers back? Do you any idea?
I would say they're probably a couple weeks out. That's a total guess, but it doesn't seem like it's imminent.
We will be back in just a couple of minutes with the big picture. We're going to look at the Big Ten and college basketball coming up next on Press Pass.
Hike! Get in the savings zone at Capital Honda with game-winning offers on the new 2019 Honda Civic LX, $189 a month, or new 2019 Honda CR-V EX all-wheel drive, $269 a month. You should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
One of the things that I absolutely love is this through line, this hard candy that Gil gives to young Malcolm.
When you're younger and you experience those things, you don't quantify them in the same way as you would as an adult. And to have those conversations is hard.
To show him some kindness, to help calm him down, they make a connection.
I think it helped him to break out of his experiences. Root beer. This day just keeps getting better.
That's a little touchstone we revisit time and time again.
For you, Gil. And for you. Everything he does is affected by his past.
What's gonna happen, Mr. Bright?
Everything's gonna be okay, Isaac. I promise.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, only on Fox 47 News.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
It's the end of the year and the Graf dealerships have too many vehicles. That's bad news for us, but good news for you. It's the Graf year-end blowout. It's your last chance to get the car, truck, or SUV you want at the best prices of the year.
During the Graf year-end blowout, get $3,000 minimum for your trade and drive off in a new Chevy Equinox for just $141 per month or a new Chevy Trax for just $104 per month.
Save a lot of money and start the new year off the right way in a Graf Chevrolet. During Graf's year-end blowout going on now.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to Chicago and Northern Michigan, where Doug Warren and I were for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Oh, my gosh. I did. Got to admit it. Nice little dribble handoff right up against the buzzer. Joined the fray as well. Dimitri Price with the high pick from Reavers. Pritzel right on cue. Wall and Pritzel have had moments. Let's see what Tyler can do here. Reavers is wide open. He won't get him a more open shot than that. The ball stays on this end of the floor with 8 seconds to shoot. Pritzel, count it! Big time out of bounds play. Wall made big plays all through the game.
Reavers 7 points in the final 3.5 minutes.
That one will count to close it out.
We talk about the difficulty of winning on the road in the Big Ten. Someone forgot to tell the Wisconsin Badgers Friday night. Brendan, how do you explain what Wisconsin did? This is a team that had just lost to Richmond, New Mexico, North Carolina State. Then they go to Columbus and beat the number 5 Buckeyes.
I would say 2 parts. One, Wisconsin went to Columbus and made them play their game. It was a 61 possession game on Ohio State's home court. That's pretty bad. On the flip side, Ohio State, I don't know how DJ Carton is not being the featured guy at this point. Dwayne Washington, Michigan native, took 19 shots in that game. Now, Dwayne Washington is a nice player, and he's a fairly decent three-point shooter, but he should not be taking 3 times as many shots as DJ Carton. Anyone who watches DJ Carton knows this is one of the 5 best young talents in the league, and he's still coming off the bench. Chris Holtman knows what he's doing, but it's now January, and I'm shocked that he's not the man yet there.
Should we all take Penn State more seriously after it survived 24 lead changes and gets a big win over Iowa at the Palestra, a place you know well?
I do. This is my game of the week. We're stealing my thunder. But so I'm going to join you there, Larry. We'll have to figure things out. But I've bought in on Penn State all along. This team has Big Ten talent at multiple positions, whereas in years past it's always one guard, maybe one big. But now everyone knows Lamar Stevens, everyone knows Mike Watkins, but Miles Dredd is a really nice player, a big-time Big Ten player, clearly. They have young guys like Seth Lundy. They just have all these pieces. They're tough. A lot of players from Philly.
Fiery coach.
Don't think it's a coincidence, but I buy in. I think this is the year they make the tournament. Thought it was a nice game by Iowa. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Yeah.
Iowa's good.
Yes.
Tom, with home teams winning all but 4 games leading into the 2 games tonight, who has acquitted itself well on the road when the idea seems to be hold serve and try to get a split of your road games?
Well, I mean, I got to double down on Wisconsin. I mean, I watched that game on Friday night. I mean, Wisconsin's like a bad rash that won't go away. They do this to you every year. You don't think they're going to be good, and they're there, just like in football. But that was a big swing. Because the thing of it is, Michigan State has been holding serve at, doing that thing at home. But it doesn't matter. If Michigan State continues to play the way they're playing, it doesn't matter where they're playing. So I don't think that whole issue of holding serve, can they win a road game is going to be a big issue for them if they keep playing the way they are as they are right now.
Can you explain to me what happened to North Carolina? They did not score a basket for the first 13 minutes.
Well,
their 2 best players.
Cole Anthony's not playing. And the other guy? Who's the other guy?
I forget. I'm blanking on the name, but they're 2 best players.
I'm telling you, but this is a team that beat Oregon in the Bahamas, but they've been really sputtering. I mean, this could be the year they're going to the NIT. Can you believe that? I mean, when was the last time that happened?
The same year Roy ties Dean Smith for career wins. Might be his worst team. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, the year Mark D'Antonio passed Duffy Doherty, and how'd that work out?
That's a good point.
Good one.
Larry, would you ever have guessed that we'd be talking about North Carolina as a football school and Michigan as a basketball school?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. The thing about college basketball, there's just so much talent all over the country. There's as much parity as maybe any sport, and that's what makes it so great. We've had several #1 teams. We'll probably have some more. It's a great ride along the way, and we know the tournament will be magical like it usually is.
And great non-power conference teams this year.
Yeah.
300
Gonzaga,
teams to be.
San Diego State, Dayton, big-time teams.
Butler. Some big ones, Larry, taking a look at the Big Ten standings and the latest AP Top 25, can you give me a team with a losing league record, currently 1-2 or worse, that can bounce back to contend in the next 9 weeks? And can you give me a team that's not ranked in the top 10 tonight that'll make it all the way to Atlanta for the Final Four?
We'll go for door number 1, the Buckeyes. We already talked a little bit about them. I think Caleb Wesson is still one of the better players in the league. There's a lot of other talent there. Tough to lose at home, as they did to Wisconsin. So we'll go with the Buckeyes bouncing back. And then, I think Michigan State was ranked #1 for a reason preseason. I think they slipped for good reason, at least not a good reason, but it's understandable with what Winston went through in his life. They're back. I think they're going to be a Final Four team at the end of the day.
And San Diego State also unbeaten. We'll be right back.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as the side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Come to Merrill Ford on Grand River in Okemos for a great deal on a quality pre-owned vehicle. All of our pre-owned vehicles have been inspected and repaired by factory-trained technicians. Ask for a Carfax. Sale prices are clearly marked on every vehicle. 90-day financing with great interest rates. Come on in, merrillford.com. Check us out online on Grand River in Okemos. We're always working hard to earn your business.
The Big Bang Gang would like you to know that now there's only one place to find the Big Bang Theory Monday through Friday.
It's the only option.
So now your home for the Big Bang Theory Monday through Friday is
Fox 47.
The 23rd Mid-Michigan RV Show, January 16th through the 19th at the MSU Pavilion. The best deals of the decade, guaranteed.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
Obviously, we're very pleased with the way we played in the game, especially in the second half. It seemed it took us a little while to get our sea legs under us. But we played much better in the second half. I actually shut them out and made some really big plays, on offense. But I'm especially proud of this team for the adversity that they had to overcome this year, the perseverance that they showed, and the grit that they showed in coming out and playing the way they did in the second half of this game.
Presented the program extremely well, always played football the way it should be played, with great effort and passion and what they've done. I have great admiration for and appreciation for, and I want them to come back. I mean, this is a kind of senior group that as they go off onto their life's work, you really you want to see them again. You want to keep in touch. You want them to come back and visit and know them. It's that kind of group.
Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh after a very brief post-game handshake. Tom Crawford, you all but guaranteed Michigan Big Ten championship this summer?
Yeah, I did. Never going to do that again, I promise you.
A money back
Talk to me in August, Tom.
No, I'm serious, BQ. I'm serious.
Michigan does win the offseason often under Jim Harbaugh.
But you did say last week on this show that Alabama was going to win this game and it wasn't going to be that close.
Right.
And you were right on that. Congratulations.
Yeah, finally. No, I knew they played tough for a half, and would they turn up 285 total offense in the first half? And just like in the Ohio State game, the other coaches, the teams of the other team make adjustments. Jim Harbaugh's staff does not make adjustments, and it's a complete flip, and they get hammered in the second half. But listen, Michigan is what it is. It's an 8 to 10 win team every year this point forward. As long as Jim Harbaugh's coaching, I think he'll be there 2 more years, and then Ward will be forced to delete him, send him on.
So you don't think he'll get a contract extension?
No.
Ooh, okay.
Well, I mean, whatever. I think in 2 years.
That's what he has left on his deal right now is 2 years.
I know, and I just think
They let him play that out.
Okay, so you're gonna go 0-9 or 0-7 against Ohio State. You think that's gonna go over well?
I'm just
listen.
I mean, name another coach who has 2 years left on his deal who's out recruiting.
And the problem is about recruiting, though. I understand that, but this could go on indefinitely. What are you going to go, 25-26 against Ohio State? You think that's going to be acceptable?
If not him, who?
Listen, it's not working out.
You see Shea Patterson just a moment ago, and Tom, can you evaluate the career of Shea Patterson?
I love Shea Patterson because he's 2-0 against Michigan State, and that's all that really matters to me. But those other quarterbacks.
He's easily pleased.
And the CFP, great quarterback play.
Yeah.
High-level quarterback play. Michigan doesn't have high-level quarterback play.
Larry, what do you think? How is Shea Patterson going to be remembered?
Good, not great. Kind of like the team that Michigan has been under Jim Harbaugh. I think if you look at it, overall, he has brought the program back to being good as they were for much of the Lloyd Carr era. Lloyd Carr, of course, won a national championship that Bo didn't, and won some Big Ten titles. Michigan has not won a Big Ten title since 2004, which obviously predates Harbaugh, but they've been good, not great. And awful against Ohio State, obviously, 0-5, 1-4 with 4 straight losses in bowl games. So that's 4 years in a row they've closed the season with 2 straight losses. That's not a good look.
Tom, doing some quick math there, that makes Michigan 1-9 in its last 2 games of the year under Harbaugh. The Ohio State game, 0-5, and 1-4 in the bowls, and 0-10 as an underdog. You feel like you're not quite getting what you pay for?
Where's the 0 for 20 against?
I'll get that. I'm getting to that.
Yeah. You're missing that one. That's the big metric right there. I mean, you can throw those metrics, and it's hard to defend. It's hard to defend Jim Harbaugh. And I quit defending Jim Harbaugh after the Wisconsin game. I knew at that moment in Madison, this is not working out.
Larry, to paraphrase Bo Schembechler, those who stay will have a chance to allow less than 56 points to Ohio State. And
I don't think that's quite what he said, but
yeah, well,
he practices his stuff all day long.
So how do you evaluate the season when everyone in Chicago was talking about Michigan and Nebraska in Indianapolis?
I mean, versus preseason expectations, a disappointing season without a doubt. I think going back to what I said, good, not great, and certainly short of expectations that I think were inflated in the first place. I think they were about what I thought they would be this season, about a 9-win team.
Brendan, what do you think of some of these rumors now? I don't know whether to believe them at all. Anything about Jim Harbaugh and the Dallas Cowboys?
I'm not buying it. I don't think Ward Manuel fires
in 2 years.
Harbaugh,
not now.
Don't say it.
2 years from now.
Not unless there's a gigantic collapse to like 4 wins.
We will be right back, and we're going to talk about the college football playoff and other bowl games up next.
Greasy pizza boxes.
Glass bottles not emptied.
Yogurt containers with, ew.
Michigan needs to recycle better, and that change starts with you. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
With MSU-FCU's Visa Signature Card, receive 3% cash back on groceries, 2% cash back on gas, travel, and universities, and 1% cash back on everything else. Open your MSU-FCU Visa Signature Card today.
4,000 people in our state are missing. Their parents, grandparents, kids. Fox 47's Fox Finders is dedicated to bringing them home. Watch Fox Finders Missing Persons, Mondays on Fox 47 News.
Greasy pizza boxes.
Glass bottles not emptied.
Yogurt containers with, ew.
Michigan needs to recycle better, and that change starts with you. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
If you're watching on an antenna, be sure to rescan your TV after 10 a.m. on January 17.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
It's the end of the year and the Graf dealerships have too many vehicles. That's bad news for us, but good news for you. It's the Graf year-end blowout. It's your last chance to get the car, truck, or SUV you want at the best prices of the year.
During the Graf year-end blowout, get $3,000 minimum for your trade and drive off in a new Chevy Equinox for just $141 per month or a new Chevy Trax for just $104 per month.
Save a lot of money and start the new year off the right way in a Graf Chevrolet during Graf's year-end blowout going on now.
They do snap it. Morgan with pressure. Oh, what a catch!
Bryce with
What
him.
a catch.
He had the touchdown on the 4th down earlier. It's his 5th of his career.
Minnesota Golden Gophers made a lot of great catches in that game. Tyler Johnson was spectacular, former basketball star, looked like a great NFL receiver. Tom Crawford, 1 week ago, I think you said that we could take it to the bank that another team from Alabama was going to pound U of M from the Big Ten.
At least by 21, minimal.
Rico Beard wanted me to remind you of that.
Of course he did.
He asked that, just to let you know that he is rowing very hard right now while he's watching this show. Did Minnesota's win over Auburn change your mind in any way about P.J. Fleck and the Tigers?
Hey, I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. I'll never go against PJ again. I mean, even in the coaching circle, he's kind of got a reputation as kind of this cheesy approach to motivating his kids. But man, they were terrific against Auburn. Auburn's a good team. That's a high-level SEC team. So hey, I will never second-guess Minnesota again. And
will you please row the boat right now?
Whatever.
How long is Fleck there?
Not long.
Ooh, could be gone.
No,
could be USC maybe. He's got a contract extension though. So
yeah. But, I mean, what he did is he got a running game together. I mean, he got those missing parts from last year, and his defense has improved, and he's got a heck of a quarterback. That's nice to have a great quarterback.
Tom and Larry, I'd ask you if you would have believed it when P.J. Fleck left Kalamazoo for Minneapolis by said that he would have an 11-win season before Jim Harbaugh.
No, I would not have said that, but Minnesota traditionally plays no one in the preseason, and
they did beat Penn State.
That is a school that has won some over the years. I mean, when you look at Minnesota historically, they've had some decent runs, maybe not 11-win.
They lost 7 bowl games in a row, Larry.
Well, right.
Yeah, but Jerry Kill would still been the coach if he hadn't
years,
gotten sick.
Yes.
You know, all this coaching change started because Jerry Kill got sick. They were fine.
Quick lane bowls, those are important.
And Kill was decent. You know, Mason was decent sometimes. You know, Ricky Foggy. I think they beat your Michigan your number 1 Wolverines like 86 or so.
Well, I remember in '77 when I was in school, 16-0.
What really seems to matter is what a conference does with its best teams, not what happens at the bottom of the invitations. And the Rose Bowl, how do you explain Wisconsin losing by a point to Oregon, holding the Ducks to 204 yards, and the Badgers ran 23 more plays?
Turnovers turn into 21 points. When you turn the ball over more than the other team does, as Nick Saban taught me 20 years ago, you usually lose. And Wisconsin has found a way to lose its last 4 Rose Bowls. So I'm sure as the sun was setting under the San Gabriel Mountains, right?
Yeah.
Prettiest view of a press box in the history of press boxes. That's when they're used to crumbling. So I guess they did it the Badger way.
How will you remember the career of Jonathan Taylor, first player with 3 straight 2,000-yard seasons rushing?
Really good college running back, Ron Dane-esque. Not as big, of course, but you can't take that away from him. I mean, when you can put up those kind of numbers and the other team is game planning all week to stop you and they still can't, there's something to be said for that.
No Heisman, nothing like that. Didn't get the
Ron
invitation.
Dane got one of those, right?
Ron Dane did, yeah. A couple of other Badgers have acquitted themselves well in that way, but
Would he have gotten more consideration if he wasn't wearing a Wisconsin uniform?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe, yeah.
Ron Dane would have liked our barbecue plate tonight.
Yeah, he certainly would. He'd fit right in. Brendan, now we are down to 2 teams, and we have the Tiger Bowl coming up with Clemson and LSU. Is this going to be another show for Joe Burrow, or can Clemson keep it close and stretch its winning streak to 30 in a row?
I know nothing, but I will take LSU.
Winston is not an answer, right?
All day, every day.
Absolutely.
Bengal Tigers. First of all, Ed Odron needs to, his own reality show.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Swamp
more
people.
press conferences. Anytime that guy can talk, I'm on board. So I want to hear him
be
on
my
stage.
Siri voice.
He's just
Yes.
amazing. And Burrow's just on another planet right now.
Special.
And tired of Clemson. I'm tired of Dabo, whatever. Get them out.
Yeah.
LSU.
Evangelist.
Any doubt that Joe Burrow is the number 1 draft choice for the NFL?
No doubt.
And Chase Young number 2, maybe?
I think the
not?
Lions hope he's 2 because I don't think he's going to be that good.
He wouldn't have been impressive in Ann Arbor.
No, and they were not triple teaming him.
No,
like people used to say about Rashawn Gary and that kind of thing. It just wasn't that good.
No.
You know, Clemson is the exception, though, because normally you can go back 20 years and you see the same teams. Go back 10 years and Clemson really was nothing.
No.
And had a long period of that. So I'm not quite ready to push them off
I'm
the
going to
ledge
go
yet.
Clemson.
You're going to pick Clemson to win it?
No way.
The man is hot, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back with our Law of the Jungle segment. We'll talk about the NFL playoffs this weekend. Up next.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Whether your insurance need is for business, farm and agriculture, or protecting your home and auto, experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
Got a car to sell? Shaheen Chevrolet will buy it. We are Michigan's #1 buying center. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy from us. We'll appraise your car and give you the most cash for it all in under 15 minutes. It's that easy. Only at Michigan's #1 buying center, Shaheen Chevrolet.
Jason Biggs and Maggie Lawson are outmatched. Premieres January 23rd on Fox.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you are looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff on Trowbridge, or find Woody's favorites at Tom's Foods, Horrocks, and all across MSU's campus.
With you through thick and thin, social media, they still love you. Do you have any message for the fans who are so supportive of you and the team?
Yeah, we appreciate our fans. I wouldn't say it's been all that thin around here personally. Maybe you feel differently, but I haven't heard too many fans say that. So, yeah, of course we appreciate our fans. That's, we have a great relationship with them. They're here for us, and we always try to perform our best so they can be proud of the way we perform.
That's the always cordial Bill Belichick, and didn't like that question about through thick and thin. He didn't see much thin for a team that's won 6 Super Bowls and been to 3 others.
Is the laughter still resonating from that last play in that game? The interception brought back in for the touchdown.
Yeah. You got a chuckle out of
it,
right?
It was beautiful.
Yeah. Tom, you didn't think that was that funny,
well,
right?
That kept the window open of opportunity, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy should have fell down, and I don't know.
Well, they were trying to go for 2, which would have.
Right. No, yeah.
ended that,
The whole
maybe,
the ending was very strange in that game.
Tom, can an amazing career really come to an end this way? Can the GOAT see his last throw in Foxborough be a pick 6? Do you expect him to play again with New England or with another team?
Well, I expect him to play again. I expect him to play in New England with a lot more help than he has right now. He has no help. I mean, even Julian Edelman dropped the ball that killed a drive. I mean, I thought, to be honest with you, I thought this is one of Brady's better performances this year because he had nobody and he had no support system. But what's really strange, Jack, about this is I'm starting to think that Belichick doesn't want him back. Maybe he wants to prove that he can do it without him. I'm in that theory right now. I think Brady wants to come back. Yeah. And when he talked to the press, it sounded like, well, I want to come back. You kind of got that feel from it. So this is going to be an interesting scenario that comes up these next weeks and months.
I think you're onto something there. I do know that he did not want to lose Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
That was the guy he was grooming. And when Kraft said, no, we'll let him go. We got Tom terrific for a few more years. He'll play till he's 50. Belichick didn't appreciate that much. Larry, the Bills played a terrific first half yesterday and then could not hold off Deshaun Watson and the Texans. What struck you about that game and wins today? By the way, both 6 seeds won. You've got the Tennessee Titans winning, and today, Minnesota Vikings.
I'd like to start with the Bills Mafia, and what is jumping onto a table off of like a bus out at a tailgate? Like, how is that a thing? I need someone to explain that to me.
It's expression of passion, Larry.
But, Deshaun Watson made a Houdini-type escape out of a sack to keep a play alive, turn a sack into a short pass and a big gain to set up the field goal. That was the play. That was the game.
BQ, it is possible for a team to play games after January 10th, something that Lions fans are not familiar with. What's it like for long-suffering fans when their team finally reaches the mountaintop? You felt that a couple years ago.
It's a very strange dynamic when a city with a just like embedded inferiority complex wins and just nobody knows how to react. No one knows. I remember the morning after that Super Bowl, everyone's holding the door open for each other at the Wawa and
in Philadelphia?
hugging and shaking. It was just incredible, and to share it with families. I think it's a validation of time spent on a topic, if anything.
Well, we've had the Red Sox multiple times. We had the Chicago Cubs. We had the Eagles. So don't give up hope, Lions fans. If you live another 80 years, you just might see it. We'll be right back with our Cool and Smooth segment, our weekly awards up next.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
It's the end of the year and the Graff dealerships have too many vehicles. That's bad news for us, but good news for you. It's the Graff year-end blowout. It's your last chance to get the car, truck, or SUV you want at the best prices of the year.
During the Graff year-end blowout, get $3,000 minimum for your trade and drive off in a new Chevy Equinox for just $141 per month or a new Chevy Trax for just $104 per month.
Save a lot of money and start the new year off the right way in a Graff Chevrolet. During Graff's year-end blowout going on now.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, only on Fox 47 News.
I'm Tara with the Holt & Diamondale Insurance Agency, and we understand that you depend on your equipment to keep your farm running smoothly. Auto Owners Insurance provides flexible coverage and broad protection for all your farm equipment. Call me today for your farm insurance review.
The 23rd Mid-Michigan RV Show, January 16th through the 19th at the MSU Pavilion. The best deals of the decade, guaranteed.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for a cool and smooth segment brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious Butterburgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's, a welcome to delicious.
I don't really got time to take something back, all right? Now, maybe I have the receipt somewhere. I was told to go out and get the gift. I got the gift. You don't like the gift, you could take it back yourself. I don't have time to do that, all right? I'm trying to run a football program here. Okay, we got a game coming up that I'm preparing for. Lucky that I'm here today, but to say that I'm going to go take that gift back for you, that's just too much to ask, all right? So you want to take it back, maybe I'll find my receipt. You want to use my Amazon Prime or whatever it is, that's fine. I don't care, okay? You do that. I got things to prepare for, all right? So just quit asking.
That is comedian Joey Molinaro with his spot-on impression of Bad Santa Nick Saban.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
he nailed it.
Got every gesture
He nailed it.
I think he just missed this one. He had this one, but
Boy, that's a hand talker, man. Nick Saban.
All right, Team 328. Who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Larry Leach, what about our play of the week?
I'm going to go for cool and smooth Cassius Winston, who went from the left wing to the right corner, swooping across the lane with a reverse layup with Teskey trying to guard him. That was my play of the week since I had to bump off the miss by Gabe Brown.
Yeah, and that would have been the play. Gabe in the locker room afterward was saying, that would have been the #1 play on SportsCenter.
He's right.
He was right about that.
And the roof might have come off.
Yeah.
Brendan Quinn, what about our game of the week? What do you have?
Well, I'm going to cheat because I want to talk about the Michigan State game a little bit more. And I'm going to go with that. But big picture, the rivalry itself. Yeah. I know it's 4 straight for Michigan State, but this rivalry is as good as any in the country, I feel like, to watch a game inside and out. Today, ideally Livers would have been there, but another display of Cassius Winston. In the 4 straight wins, he's contributed 65 of Michigan State's 97 field goals between his shots made and assists. He's unbelievable, and this game's as good as it gets. I can't wait for the one in February.
And when you talk about the rivalry, Juwan Howard is off to an outstanding start in recruiting. Mm-hmm. And if he finishes the way I think he's going to, he could wind up with the #1 class in the country.
Certainly on the table, without a doubt.
And something that created quite a buzz on Twitter, Brendan kind of started it and I added a log talking about Juwan Howard and how far out on the court he was, created all kinds of stuff. And then after the game, Tom Izzo was asked about Juwan Howard adding, more to the rivalry, and he said, I'm kind of glad that he's gone because John Beilein was so buttoned up, made me look like a fool. Now we both look like fools. That's not going over real well with a lot of Michigan fans and Michigan
I don't know
people.
if that's going to go over well in the office in Ann Arbor.
That's what I mean. So that kind of adds a little spice.
Some juice on the court, that might be
Get some juice in there.
I like it.
I like it myself.
Yes.
Tom, what about our team of the week?
I'm doubling down on a segment a couple times earlier. Minnesota Gophers, my team of the week. I mean, they haven't won a big-time bowl game since they beat UCLA.
Yeah.
In the 1961 season when I was 5. I mean, they've won 4 bowl games in a row, a couple Fleabag, quick lane, but what they did with Auburn, hats off to them. I was dead wrong about the Gophers, so row the boat, my team of the week.
Tough decision for you, I know, between Minnesota football and Michigan State basketball.
Listen, I'll have plenty of time to give Michigan State team of the week. I have 3 more months of that, including some game they might have in Atlanta.
That was kind of a weak row, by the way. I need a better effort out of you.
All right, our player of the week, I want to split this because one thing about Cassius, you guys have talked about it a lot, but I think that it was the second best game I've seen by a Michigan State player against Michigan, behind Scott Skiles with the 40-point performance in 1986. If you give him credit for assist points, he would have had 50, 32 plus 18. But I have to give a shout out to Kirk Cousins with the Minnesota Vikings. The guy can't win a big game, so what does he do? He takes the 6th seed into New Orleans, a team I thought would win it all, and delivers a win. Congratulations, Kirk. I know that's been a long time coming. Want to thank Team 328. Tom Crawford, Blue Belly Tom, Larry Leach, Michigan Associated Press sports editor, Brendan Quinn, BQ from The Athletic Detroit. See you next week, everyone.